supported child. So your knees can either be together or you can have them wide. I'm going to recommend either a block underneath your chest if you have one. If you don't, no worries. You put a pillow there. You can put a blanket there. Take your hands behind you and you can rest your chest on that block if your knees are wide, like this, and then the forehead would hit down. If you take your knees together, which is even more supportive, then rest your forehead on the block. Okay, and so as we arrive in this first shape in child's pose, I want you to take a moment to just scan your body and start to just become really present and aware of your own experience in this shape, right? So how does it feel to be in this shape? And when you think about how does it feel, can you come into it from a more sensorial perspective, right? Less on from the thinking brain, more from the feeling side, right? How does it feel for your chest to press against your thighs, for your shins to press against the mat, for your head, right? Whether it's on the ground or on a block, what does that feel like for you? And so, many of you I know have practiced yin before. Some of you teach it. So we'll be in this shape for several minutes. So plenty of time to get to know these sensations. Plenty of time to experience what shows up for you while you're here. While you're here, it's important that we don't push ourselves to our edge. That's not what this is about. This is about creating a deeper connection, a conversation with your soma. What is the body wanting to communicate to you today? This right now is not about controlled breath, but about an opportunity to breathe into spots that need extra attention. To notice where your breath gets hung up. To notice where you feel open and where you feel contracted. So often this pose is not seen as a heart opener, but it is. We're opening up the backside of our heart, the vulnerable side. An opportunity in the silence and the quiet to start to hear not just how the body communicates with you, but how does your mind, what happens in the quiet? Where does your mind travel? And just notice and observe it. Be the space holder for yourself. Do your best to stay out of analyzation mode. Instead, stay in curiosity. Ever so slowly, you'll make your way onto your back. Take your time. When you find your way onto your back, go ahead and just be still best you can. Allow the legs to extend to the outer corners. Allow the arms to rest beside you. Take a moment here, again, to just be, to integrate, right? So the way I was taught to teach a yin practice is we take a posture, we then pause for integration before we move to the next. And this is actually a really important thing to consider in our lives. So often we just move from task to task to task, never stopping to pause to integrate. And just something to be aware of and mindful of is that how you're operating from. When we operate from this method, our nervous systems tend to get dysregulated. We're going to stay with the heart chakra today. So you're going to open your arms out like a T. We're going to take a nice spinal twist. You're going to bring your knees to your chest. If you want, give yourself a hug. And then drop yourself over onto the left side, creating a fetal shape. Take a moment in the fetal shape. Stack your two palms, one on top of the other. And just notice, right? This is where life begins, where we begin our journey. Unclear of what was ahead of us, full of curiosity. From here, you take the right arm and you just open it up. So we're getting into a twist, also a heart opener. Your gaze can be straight up at your ceiling. Your gaze can look over to the right. Your arms can stay out like a T. You can also cactus your arms. Take a moment, fidget. I'm going to set the timer to make sure we're balanced. And then decide where you want to land in stillness. Okay? So you could have your arms cactus, you can have them long, you can even take your right hand and wrap it underneath your shoulder blade and see how that feels. But once you arrive where you are going to stay, we want to try to be still. So in the yin practice, right, several things are happening. But one of the things we most focus on is connective tissue, right, in the fascia. In order to dive into the fascia, the connective tissue layer, we must stay still. That's how it works. Every time we move, we go right back into that muscle layer, okay? So do your best to find the shape and then remain still. Another thing that's not often talked about, but when you're still, so much more will rise to the surface, more sensation, more chitter chatter in the mind, more to be present and aware with. We want to get to know this information because this information holds a lot of wisdom. Medicine, I believe. Medicine for what we might need more of, what we might need to open up to, and also what might be ready to discard. So we take this time here to breathe into the heart, to feel how that feels in your soma, and to breathe out from the heart. To again connect with the sensation, the vibration, your own personal experience. An opportunity to practice the yamas and niyamas of non-attachment. An opportunity to practice non-judgment. and instead to practice self-study. Yay. If at any point anything feels painful, please back off and stop. If at any point anything feels too open or too vulnerable, find a version that feels a little less. So for example, in this shape, you could just bring your right hand back over into the fetal. The most important thing here to know is you have agency to make decisions for your body, for yourself. That whatever anyone else is doing really ultimately does not matter. You don't win at this. When your mind wanders, as it will, because that's what minds do, bring yourself back with your soma. Bring yourself back to the experience of the sensations in your human body, your physicality. A few more breaths here to explore. As Elizabeth brought up, if something shows up, you're welcome to ask that part of your body if it has something it wants to tell you, a voice. If there's at some point a sound that comes to mind as you're in any experience, feel free to start quiet and then amplify it. Over the next breath or two, make your way back onto your back. Constructive rest, bring your knees together, walk your feet out wide. Rest your arms long beside you. Let your eyes soften. If it feels safe, let them close. If it feels supportive, place a hand on your heart and a hand on your belly. Notice and observe. Drawing our knees now over to the right side. Starting in that fetal pose, stacking the arms, palm on top of palm, pausing here for just a moment. As we prepare to go into the twist, the heart opener, pay attention. Pay attention to the subtleties. If it's available, allow your left arm to open, the gaze to come up or over to the left. Option to keep the arms out straight like a T. Option to cactus their arms. Mine don't do that well. Option to slide the left hand underneath your heart. Decide what feels right today, just in this moment. And then begin to explore the shape. Explore your own body. Remember, this is just a conversation that we are creating between mind and body, between mind, body, and spirit, if we allow it. Remembering that if the sensations at any point are too intense, you back off. If you need more, you deepen it. You trust your own intuition. And you just continue to stay curious about what you feel. If sound wants to move through you, you allow that to happen. It can be quiet, it can be loud. You let yourself feel what you feel without the need to explain it, to justify it, maybe even drop the need to understand it. A challenge for our minds. Ever so slowly bring the knees back to center. We'll come back to that constructive rest. The knees plank together, the feet walk apart. The hands can be beside you. They can rest on your body. Feel how the earth underneath you here, the backside of your heart supports it. Feel how strong Mother Earth is. And if you need some of her strength right now, pull from it. She is abundant and she has plenty for all of us. Okay, and then we're going to slowly roll over to our bellies, having the block nearby as you may want it. We'll move into Sphinx pose. Do you come legs long behind you? The block can be low with your forehead rested on your forearms. It can be on that middle height with the forehead rested. It could be on the high height. If you don't have a block, you can just come on your forearms like this and just let your head dangle or rest it on a pillow. You could also go grab a fat. I used to say a yellow book, but I guess those don't really exist anymore, right? Those guys remember those phone books? They used to make good yoga props, FYI. But I guess no one keeps them anymore. But if you have one and you can support your neck, great. If not, you can just you won't be here super long. You can let the head dangle. So here we work a little bit more on the front side of the heart. We've been working a bit on the back side, the vulnerable side. The front side, right? This is where we show our hearts. Lean in with it. And notice first and foremost the sensations as you're in this shape. What do you feel? Do you feel expansion? Contraction? And if you have a back injury, make sure you stay on the low side. Okay. Should have mentioned that right off the bat. As this is a deep back bend too. Do you feel tightness? Openness? Is it warm? Is it cool? These are the sensations that we are looking for. Is there movement? Or does it feel like it's stuck? How does the breath feel? Does it move easily? Or is it constricted? And as you connect to the sensations, can you stay with them as your mind wants to take you probably to a million other places? It's not easy. It takes quite a bit of focus and intention. And again, as you stay with these sensations, as you stay in this body, as you stay with what you feel, is there a sound that wants to move through you? And if so, allow it. Give it that space. Is there something that you would like to ask it? Or is it something that it would like to communicate to you? Slowly, we'll start to remove the block, taking crocodile, bringing the palms together, the forehead rests. Let the glutes go if you are tensing them, let the heels roll out. And just take a moment here to be still, to observe. And then you'll begin to make your way up to a nice, easy seat. And you just get comfortably. You can sit cross-legged. You can sit in Virasana and Heroes. You can sit on a blanket, whatever feels right. We'll just find Sukhasana, easy seat for a moment. And of course, at any point, if you have a question or, you need some support, of course, unmute yourselves. But we're going to move into a few rounds of Nadi Shavana. So alternating nostril breathing. So one of the things I have experienced with somatic yoga is integrating the postures with the breath and then with the inner the conversation. So I want to make sure we're weaving it throughout the practice. So Nadi Shona, balancing right and left side, right? And the best time actually to meditate, the best time to engage in spiritual practices is when our left and our right nostril are balanced. And so before we go into any meditation, we're going to go into fish after this, any really big heart openers. I want to bring us into a more balanced state. This is also a form of bilateral stimulation. So stimulating both the right and the left side of the brain. So we'll take our thumb and close off our right nostril. Welcome to have your eyes opened or closed. The left palm is up on our lap with thumb to first finger. You're going to slowly inhale up the left side, keeping the lips closed. Take our ring finger, close off the left side, open the right side, exhale quietly and softly down the right side. Inhale up the right side. Close off the right side, open the left side, exhale. Inhale up the left side. Close left, pause, open right. Inhale up the right side. Close, hold, exhale down the left side. Inhale up left. Close, open down right. And then just lay your hands down for a moment. Just observe. Take one finger on your right hand and just, you can take your index finger underneath your nose. Take a couple breaths and see if it feels the nostrils are pretty balanced. The amount of air flowing in and out. Is one more dominant than the other right now? I feel like my right might be a little more dominant. So with that being said, you can stay if you feel like they're balanced, or you can continue. So I'm going to close off my right, inhale up my left. Close left, open right, exhale. Inhale up right. Close right, open left, exhale. Inhale up right. Close left, open right. Inhale up right. Close right, open left. Inhale up left. Close left, open right. You can take a moment to pause, taking that index finger underneath the nose and just notice again. Maybe you notice the subtle shift, subtle change, and maybe you notice it's a little bit more even. Mine feels a little more even now. So from here, I'm going to move into fish. You can use fish posture with a block, or you could take a blanket. I like to take fish with my blanket, fold it, roll it like a tube, trying to make it into a bolster. And then I'm going to take the blanket right to the base of my sacrum, low back. And then you're just going to lie on it, down, right? Now, a couple options. So right now, my head is actually on my blanket, but I'm actually going to fold it up a little bit. So I'm going to actually fold it down a little bit. I'm going to let my head rest on it. Yeah. Okay, now options with our arms. We can have our arms wide open. Right now you're like, I feel like I need some spaciousness. Often this is such a vulnerable pose. I will encourage people, anyone, especially with right now in experiencing any trauma, instead to just take your right hand underneath your left armpit and then your left hand over your right shoulder. Just a gentle hug as you kind of wrap your arms around yourself, loving on yourself. You can just stay here just like this. Taking that moment to breathe in and out through your heart and experience the safety, the love, the care that you can provide for yourself. You have options for the legs. You can keep them long. If you want to work on opening the hips a bit, you can take the soles of the feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana. And of course, you can always bend your knees and just place your feet on the floor if that feels best on your low back. Find the expression right now that's speaking to you, whether it's the wrap, the arm hug, the open arms, the bent knees, or the butterfly legs. And then either let your eyes soften and close or slow gaze down the tip of your nose. And we repeat, right? So we start by just connecting our minds to the sensations in our body, taking our time to feel them, to notice and observe. Giving ourselves permission at any point to shift and alter as needed. Keeping the conversation going between mind and body. from a space of curiosity. What is the body communicating right now? Is there any words that need to be said? Any sounds that need to be released? Follow your body, follow your experience, allow it to unfold. Taking the next few breaths to make your way off of any props and onto your back. And we'll come into our final posture, Savasana. So here our only job is to integrate, right? So to observe and watch our minds, to experience our bodies, and to let ourselves receive whatever downloads need to happen. Again, you are welcome to set yourself up with props, a blanket under the knees, blocks under the knees. A blanket on top of your chest can feel quite nice, can feel supported. Together, we're going to take a full breath in, big exhale. Again, breathe in, sigh out. This time, breathe in, bring your arms up over your head and just shake. You want to shake your legs, shake your legs. You want to rattle your voice, move. It can be fast, it can be slow, it can be subtle, it can be hard. And settle. Subtly start to bring some gentle movements into the body. You start with the breath, feel the belly rise, and then deflate. And start to tap the thumb to each finger. And roll the wrists, roll the ankles. Reach back with your arms, forward with your legs. Take a full body stretch or whatever feels good for you. Then make your way over to fetal posture on one side, whichever one calls to you in this moment. Taking a moment to reconnect with your soma. What was the sensations you were feeling? What was the experience of being in your soma? Connected. What was the conversation like you had with your body? Then you can use your free hand. Bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. If your eyes open, just let them close again. And as we sit in easy seat Sukhasana, you can have your hands down for a moment, palms down, grounded here. Take 3 rounds of bumblebee breath, taking our thumbs to our ears, our fingers over our eyes. A full inhalation, the exhale will be the bumblebee sound, buzzing, bringing the energy from our root chakra all the way into that heart chakra and out to the crown. Big breath in. Palms lay on your lap. Eyes can be closed, gaze downward. Pause and just notice what you feel in this moment. Present to body, mind, and spirit. Bringing our hands to meet at our hearts. Stealing our practice. Single sound of Om. I invite you to unmute yourself and join me. Breathe in. Sigh out. Inhale from. The light in me honors, loves, sees the light in each and every one of you. And taking your time. I should have told you guys to do this before we started, but I forgot. Grab a journal and a pen or pencil, so a writing utensil. As you're going, I'm gonna go grab mine. Okay. So have a in your journal, I have a little exercise before we talk about anyone or share our experience, but write a letter from love. Begin your letter with this question. Dear love, what would you have me know today? So first part is you're going to write a letter from love. Begin your letter with this question. Dear love, what would you have me know today? The second part. And then let love itself write a letter to you. Trust that you are worthy of this compassion and affection. And trust, please trust, my friend, that every word of your letter is true. So let's take the next about 5 minutes to do that.
Rachel, can you repeat the second part?
Of course, my dear.
I'm sorry, I'm from Tennessee. I'm sorry, I'm slow.
You don't have to apologize. Please don't apologize, guys. Okay, and then you're going to let love itself write a letter to you. Trust that you are worthy of this compassion and affection, and trust that every word of your letter is true. So first you're writing a letter from love. Then you're going to let love itself write a letter to you. So 2 letters from love. And if you're like, that doesn't make sense to me, trust that whatever landed from that, it's exactly as it should be.